Welcome to DFS Insights. I'm David Geislinger, and I'm joined by my cousin, David Grant Jr. The teams up on the block are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions.
This is where David and I will be giving you three key players to focus on while building each of your lineups. Sometimes we're going to have the same favorite plays and sometimes we won't. We're here to give you just a quick breakdown of the three main plays, and just make sure to stay tuned until the end of the podcast where we're going to give out two absolutely free lineups.
Here's another good matchup. I'm mainly interested in this one because the winner of San Francisco Green Bay game will be playing the winner of this, and I'm kind of thinking it's going to be, I think it's going to be one of those games. I think both teams here, looking at their overview, Detroit, first time in forever. Congratulations Detroit there, knocking Packers out of the top of the NFC North, 13-5. They're 6.5 favorites. I think that's a little generous, to be honest. I can definitely see them run plays. They're 43%. They have two of probably one of the best duos in the run game, and they definitely utilize them very smart. Dan Campbell, I really like him as a coach. As even though he did take us out of the playoffs last year in that last game. Thank you, Rodgers and Dan Campbell, for that one. But getting back to this game, Tampa Bay's, I hate to say it because they destroyed Green Bay 3-4 weeks ago, but they're looking good. I think we talked about it earlier. Mayfield really has nothing to lose. He's on like a bare minimum contract. Tampa Bay basically just said, hey, we need somebody, cheap, to kind of fill a spot that's decent, because they didn't have any money. So here comes Baker Mayfield, and he's starting to kind of remind me of the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the NFL, team to team, and he has those great games, just like Fitzpatrick, and then he has those oh my god games. So
for sure.
What game is it? I mean, he did put on a. I don't want to say he put on a show, but the Eagles were just
trying to lose. Basically.
We didn't cover that game on the YouTube, but I mean, watching it, I'm glad I didn't, because was. Anyways, So it's hard to kind of judge, that, but Tampa did look pretty good. The receivers, few of them, got to see basically the receiver 3 and 4 step in, but I think it's going to be a shootout. Both teams don't have the best secondary. Tampa Bay does have a pretty strong front. I'd be curious to kind of see they're ranked basically 6th, 7th against the run. So I'd be kind of curious if they can stop Montgomery and Gibbs there. And I think if they can, I think that pass attack of Jared Goff could be hindered, because we know, he's good for 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions. So, and I mean, same with Mayfield. And also Mayfield is, one hit away from a broken rib or an ankle or a back or a finger or anything.
Yeah.
So, but how do you see this matchup shaping up?
After checking out, going over some of the numbers, definitely seems like a shootout for sure. We got the over under at 49.5. I feel like it's going to be in that range, and if not, hit the over. I know a lot of times in playoffs and stuff, and games against the spread usually don't cover, but man, some of these matchups just feel like they're going to cover. So it's going to be a great matchup. Like you said, Baker has nothing to lose. I still can't get Goff's play out of my head when we watched them on Thanksgiving. That was just atrocious and insane. So, which Goff is going to show up? He is at home at least. Not that seemed to make a difference on that game that we watched. Yeah. It's, fantasy wise, I think these guys will be putting up quite a bit of points. Yeah.
So with that, what 3 players you have leading you? This tournament is only 25K to first. Just a little chump change. But no, I still think it's a good, only 16.5K entries. So not too bad. Decent amount for what you're paying. So who's going to take you to that promised land?
So this might surprise you, but I just read a stat literally 5 minutes ago before we were starting the pod that says Detroit is ranked 29th, allowing 1.7 passing touchdowns over the last 9 games, and they're ranked dead last in yards allowed to the quarterback. So to me, that sets up Baker Mayfield. I mean, I was on another person, but after seeing that stat, I can't ignore it. And with him it being at 15,000 versus I believe the highest person on the slate is St. Brown at 16,000. So at least we have a slate here where there's no 17,000 or 17,500 play. So this really allows you to kind of maneuver and make lineups that feel good top to bottom. Do I think Baker has enough to go into Detroit and pull off the upset? I'm not fully sure because I'm a big believer in Dan Campbell and just the way he runs his program. I like what he does. But from a pure betting and statistical standpoint, I think Baker's going to be my MVP play. It just feels weird even saying that, but that's kind of where the numbers are leading me. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Baker Mayfield there. My next play is going to be Chris Godwin. I know he's more or less the wide receiver 2, even though Mike Evans is wide receiver 1. I think that Godwin, we all know the types of games that Godwin can have. His red zone targets seem to be up as of late, and then his targets have definitely been there. 11 against Atlanta, 12 against Green Bay, 10 against Jacksonville, 7 against Carolina, and against Philadelphia, he had 4 catches on 5 targets for 45 yards and a touchdown. He's priced at 10K, which is a perfect price. I mean, for him to be able to exceed value there. So I like Chris Godwin a lot. And my third play is going to be, I'm kind of torn between Jared Goff and St. Brown. I guess I'm going to have to just go with Goff. It's going to have to be this quarterback matchup. That's what it's going to come down to be honest. It's hard to kind of put your money there and think, wow, are both of these quarterbacks going to show up? And, Detroit's favored by 6. It's basically because they're at home, you get 3 points. So really 3. So, as far as potential for, how many fantasy points you'd be able to go out there and score, Jared Goff already did it once this season on him, and he went 30 for 44 for 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, shockingly no interceptions, shockingly no fumbles, and had 22 fantasy points. So if he can replicate something like that, I think having both quarterbacks in this matchup will be an important staple of getting to the optimal lineup. So those are my 3 plays. What are your quick thoughts on that? And then who do you got at MVP and your other two plays of the matchup?
I definitely like them. I kind of stole 2 of mine. But yeah, so I'll start with Goff because he's not one of them. I think he's gonna be a good pick. I think it's gonna be a shootout. That's kind of how I'm game scripting this. Both secondaries are pretty rough, pretty weak. And Goff has the weapons. It's just what Goff are you getting? Turnover Goff or touchdown Goff? Hopefully, after that good win against the Rams, that's not going to get into that. Whatever you think, if it was a pass interference or not, I think they're gonna put up. He's gonna put up some points. There's no way. I think. I'm kind of curious to see how he does when the run doesn't go as well as it has, to see if his arm can take him, instead of having that fail safe with the two decent running backs. If Tampa can stop the running backs, can Goff's arm take them? So I think so. I think he's a good play. I'm gonna go with my first, kind of branching off you here, Baker Mayfield. I think the matchup is just too good to pass up. 15K, he's going against literally the weakest secondary, who just gave up 100 of the rookie record in the playoffs, 187, 190 yards to Puka Nacua, and they gave up a touchdown or two. And they gave up 20. I think it was 23 points to him, and in all reality, it should have been more, based on what way you looked at the camera or whatever on that last play. So no, they're going to give up passing touchdowns. There's literally no doubt in my mind that Mayfield will probably have another 3 touchdown game, 2 at least for sure. 3, definitely a possibility there. And at 15K, he will probably be. I think he'll be decently actually owned in the MVP just because of the matchup, and if people actually looked into it. Obviously, some people just choose Amon-Ra because he's the highest salary person. So you'll have those people. You'll have the people that think Detroit being at home is going to win the game. So Goff should be in there, or the running backs or whatever. But I think Mayfield 20%ish MVP. I think if I had to put a number on it. Yeah. So there's that. Then I'm also going to go with you on Godwin. I want to say Evans, but I don't like his price at 13.5.
That's right. Same here. Exactly.
So I think he will have a good game. Detroit's, like I said, their secondary soft. They're ranked 32nd, dead last against wide receiver 1. They gave up 30 points to Jefferson, 34 points to Lamb. So they're going to give up points to Evans. It just seems like if he's not throwing the ball perfect, he gets really frustrated. Like, he can make catches, but he just, I don't know, it just seems like he gets frustrated. And obviously with, going from Brady to Mayfield, it's rough, but it is what it is. So I think Godwin sitting at the 10K is the value here. Detroit's 22nd against wide receivers too, so they're probably their cornerback on the the number 2 side is probably just slightly better. But they did give up 14 to Jordan Addison and 15 to Cooks. So like I said, they gave up basically 50 fantasy points in those week 18 and 17 to wide receivers. That's insane. Godwin sitting at the 10K, I think, is the steal here. He's a good catcher. He does seem to catch more than he is targeted, and he seems to catch more than Chris Evans, who gets the targets. It's just he's less than 7-3, 8-3, 6-1, 12-7. So are they his fault? That's for you guys to determine. But I think you'll have a game. I think you'll have a touchdown. But I'm hoping Godwin takes the other 2.
Yeah.
So moving on to my third pick of this, I'm going to go switch it over. I'm going to go to Laporta. Yes, I know he's hurt, but I think he is less hurt than he was last game. And last game he ended up with a touchdown. The Tampa Bay is literally dead, basically last 31st against tight ends. And Laporta is a tight end you really don't want to go against. It is his rookie year, but dude's been a beast.
Yeah.
He unfortunately has been hurt. Unfortunately, it is an ankle. And ankles, we all know you need to basically put all your weight on them to run. and as a tight end receiver, you kind of need that. So I see him being a little bit healthier. He did have a full practice Wednesday, but he did have limited practices Thursday and Friday to close out the week. So that makes me a little nervous. So I will be paying attention to his status closer to kickoff here. But I think Laporta will be Goff's one of his favorite targets against Tampa Bay. And with that, I think he's going to get the points, putting him at a viable spot. So what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, and if we take a look at Laporta, how many times he's been in the optimal lineup, let's just say he's the man. I mean, he in the last, so taking away, let's see, so not over the last couple, obviously because of the injury, but man, he had a streak of 3 out of 4 games, 5 out of 8 where he's in the optimal lineup. So, he does have that upside, and at 11,000 is we've seen him up, his price tag be up much higher. So I think we are getting him at a valued price. And if, like you said, if he is a little bit healthier and is on his way to getting a little bit healthier, then he'll be due for a big game. So, I like that call.
Nice. Who do you got? Moving on over here, who do you got as your MVP of this game? Which I think this one has a few different possibilities. And who do you have, winning? And what's the score?
Man, this is nuts. I can't go against Dan Campbell. I have kind of become a kind of Detroit fan. I mean, not really, but I enjoy watching them play because it seems like anything can happen at any time. They play some great football, and as you mentioned, Goff is either looking like an all-star or he's looking like he shouldn't even be on the field, which is interesting. Nonetheless, it makes for watching good football. I got Detroit winning this one. I think it is going to be a tight game. The over/under here is sitting at 49.5. I could see Detroit taking this down. Man, I could see 30 Detroit. We'll go Detroit 28 and Tampa Bay 24. So I got 28-24 Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, Detroit. So that's what I got. As far as like my MVP, like the guy you definitely want in your lineups, it's kind of hard not to go Baker Mayfield based on the stats. That just sounds weird. If not him, I would say, I guess I'll steal from you Laporta, just at the price and what his upside is and how big this game is for Detroit to finally get to that NFC championship game. So that's what I got. How do you see this game playing out? Who's your MVP? And
I see this. I think Baker Mayfield is going to be the MVP. I think he's going to come in there and just throw it. There's nothing to lose. I mean, he's already taken them to the playoffs. Obviously, he would like to keep going, obviously, further. But I think with that, knowing that, unless they kind of, win, he's probably not playing next year for Tampa, unless there's some contract that he signed that I don't know about yet. I'm assuming Tampa will probably, try to pick someone up in free agency or the draft or whatever. but so that kind of makes him even more dangerous, I think. That's why I think he's, as hurt as I've seen him in games, he's still out there playing. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know if they're giving him shots on the side or what. So I know he's going to be out there unless he's probably getting carted off. And I think with that mentality, and he has the receivers to kind of back that up. And Detroit is so bad against the pass. It just makes for a recipe for disaster for him. And we've seen him. Green Bay came into Detroit Thanksgiving and whooped up on him. Baker Mayfield for sure for me there. And I think Tampa's going to win this. As much as I want Detroit to win, because I think Green Bay's going to win, and I'd rather play Detroit and Detroit than Tampa and Tampa. Because Tampa came to Green Bay and smashed us. But 31-22. 31-22. Tampa.
Tampa. Wow. All right. I like it.
Yeah, and so with those expert predictions there, we'll go give you guys our lineups, what you guys been waiting for here. Please feel free, to enter these into any tournament. Obviously, these are more towards the tournament style, vice the single entries. At least, mine I was shooting kind of for. With that, leave a comment down. Let us know what you think. If you have any additional questions, we'd love to, answer them. Also, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, notification bell, as it does help us out to put us out, in front of, additional people's. And make sure you check out. We have, videos going about for all the playoff games. Then we also are transitioning over to NBA as the NFL season is wrapping up here. So, with that, hope to see you up there on the leaderboards, and I will send it over to David to send us off.
Yep. Good luck to everyone out there. I hope everyone has a great weekend. It's going to be a great weekend in sports, a great weekend in football. I look forward to my San Francisco 49ers completely dismantling the Green Bay Packers. They've had a great season. I'm a big Jordan Love fan now. I think you guys got a lot to look forward to. This just isn't your time. And, San Francisco will be playing the winner of this. We're going to destroy them. And we're on our way to a Super Bowl. So one step closer. I look forward to seeing all you guys at the leaderboard, up at the top, making that money. Like, subscribe, follow. You guys know what to do. Have a great weekend.